Women always blame someone else when something goes wrong, whether it's her bad grades or problems in her personal life. Also, women are never responsible for anything in their lives, whether it's doing chores around the house, taking care of their kids, or helping their husband. Well, those who do take on some responsibilities can quit at any time without any consequences. They might decide to have children outside of their marriage, move in with someone while still getting alimony from someone else, or just blame everything on other men, play the victim card, and look like winners. Women no longer get married because they love and are faithful to their husbands. After giving birth, all of their love goes to their children. So why should men care about women when they love their kids more than their husbands and cut out of their personal and social lives? A man had this reaction to an article on a website for women that blamed anti-male policies on the government. Men are upset with how women act, and it's clear that they've chosen the MGTO route to live a happy single life. Women, the forces of Satan. Almost every culture knows that women can cause terrible things to happen. People often say that women are to blame for all of the world's major wars. Hindus also think that women cause a lot of bad things to happen, but they worship female gods to make them calm down. Almost all of the world's traditional cultures wanted to use women's sexual power to help them give birth and control their energies for the good of their society. In Hindu Shastra, Srimad Bhagavad Gita explained why the sexual power of women also needed to be controlled. Modern men are also noticing how bad women are. Feminism and the women's liberation movement, on the other hand, teach women to always blame men and patriarchy for all their problems. Women's satanic traits are brought to light, and women have been cruel in all sorts of ways, from blaming their male partners for everything to killing their own babies. So men have made sex robots to satisfy their sexual needs and have stopped paying attention to women in all their relationships. Now, more and more men want to stay away from women in all kinds of relationships with them and go the MGTO route. The most important thing a woman can do is give birth to a child. Feminism, on the other hand, has taught women that they don't need men and that all they need to be happy is to make money. But the women who were on their own lost their happiness and the feeling of being a person. Feminism broke her bonds with other people. Since then, women have stopped taking care of everything on their own and have tried to blame men for everything. They started standing up for other women in public, even when they were wrong. The situation has gotten so bad that men have started to see being in a relationship as a way for them to lose money. Feminists have made it okay for women to have sex and get pregnant before they get married. Many men have agreed that these are also the rights of women. But none of these women who give free sex to a lot of other men when they are young end up with a long-term partner. Men who marry these women when they are past their prime end up with a whiny, manipulative, controlling wife who can make his life a living hell. Women run after successful men. Success is often measured by how much one brags about it. Even though there are experiments that show how sexuality works differently in men and women, feminism has changed women a lot. Women in traditional societies also married up and looked for a stable future, but they weren't as manipulative as women today. They had a lot of respect for men in general, and they were happy to be taken care of by men. But when mutual respect was gone and women were taught that men were to blame for everything, they started to value their men and relationships much less. Since the men no longer felt grateful to them, all men who cared about themselves boycotted women. Men started to think that taking care of women or providing for them is a burden on them. A broken heart is almost certain to happen if a woman has the power to control any man she wants. No wonder more and more men are using MGTO. Men from different cultures don't miss the fact that women change the way they act. Feminism has had the same effect on women all over the world. Even in very traditional societies, women's behavior changed. If we look at Afghanistan today, where the Taliban are in charge, we can see how they have forcibly limited women's rights to protect their Islamic culture. The Taliban was going after women's groups in the country. Even women who didn't do what the Taliban said were killed. But it's strange that there haven't been enough protests against the Talibani dictators around the world. In any democracy, this kind of violence against women would have gotten a lot of attention from all over the world. Feminism is like Talibani terrorism against men. All the country's judges and lawyers work with feminists to make men look bad, They make men and their families suffer from legal terrorism. Since women are encouraged to take part in state-sponsored terrorism and are given rewards for doing so, they will continue to use these extortion tools to get the most money out of them. Men find paid sex is much better. If you like the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.